I'm Telkiney, the Nerd Navigator. Thank you for watching. Today, I'm just going to do a vlog type video explaining where I'm at with the channel, what's going on in the past couple of weeks, and I hope you stick around, learn a little bit more about me. I'm also going to read some comments and respond to them kind of. I do try to do that already. And also, please forgive me that I'm not looking directly at the camera. I'm terrible at this anyway. Anyway, I'm just going to respond to some comments and talk with you about what I'm doing, ideas that I have, and so forth. And first of all, I do want to just thank the 1,000 of you that are subscribed to me. I feel really honored, although I'm assuming half of those are accounts my mom made because I'm her special boy, and the other half are like Facebook friends or guild mates from Everquest. So for the 5 of you that aren't affiliated with me whatsoever, thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoy them. I hope they are enjoyable. I'm my worst critic, but I still feel very amateuristic at this, and I am. I have a real, 9 to 5 job. Actually, usually it's like 9 to 7 or 8. Maybe some of you can relate. And then I make videos that take me anywhere from 20 to 40 hours to make for the, informational ones that I do. I do research, I do a script. It takes me a long time to edit because I'm terrible at it. But I'm trying to learn and trying to make them interesting. I do try to do that. I don't know. I try to sprinkle a little humor in there. I'm not great though. In fact, if you're EverQuest players by chance watching this video right now, if you do like actually funny, informative videos, check out Michael's Shenanigans. Yeah, that's Michael's, like a normal name, apostrophe S, Shenanigans. That guy's channel is hilarious. He doesn't upload very often, but he just did put up a new EverQuest Mysteries video around like April 30th. They're hilarious. I'm sure you've seen the first EverQuest Mysteries video he did, because everyone has, because there's like 60,000 views on that, and so that must be the entire EverQuest population. But he just put up a new one, so if you haven't seen that already, check it out. Anyway, that guy, we're both little channels, but I kind of idolize him and how he edits and so forth. It's really sweet. I like him a lot. Anyway, getting back to my own channel, I just want to thank everybody. I'm up to, on the channel, at like 200,000 views, which is amazing. So thank you everyone that's watching. I really do appreciate it. I really do put in a lot of work, even though it's terrible. I've had some audio issues lately. In fact, the last video I did, the P99 versus EverQuest, or EverQuest versus P99, whatever, it was really actually terrible. I had like 9 different effects just to try to make the sound okay, and I think I pulled it off, but I did not have my breaths in it, which somebody commented about. Anyway, so the culprit was this guy who's a Blue Yeti Pro, which was not cheap, but I tried it with the XLR cable. I tried it with the USB cable because it can use either on the bottom here. I have a mixer that I bought even, trying to fix the problem because I can't do XLR just to my computer. Anyway, nothing worked. It was still picking up a lot of static. If the volume was even a little, it like, it would muffle my voice. I can do this and it's just fine. Whoop. So anyway, I bought a new mic. Again, not cheap. Or when I say not cheap, I'm talking, it's over like $200. So I just want to let you know, like, I'm just a normal guy. This is a hobby. So I just want to thank you guys because, I appreciate people watch the videos. So let's get on to reading some comments. Also, I'm near the end of the video, I am going to talk about the giveaway. If anyone watched the P99 video and commented to it and you're a subscriber, I'm going to choose randomly one of you and contact you, and I'll announce it right here in this video, but I'll contact you tonight while I'm editing it and, get your deets in terms of, you know, sizes, what shirt you want, and so forth. I'll talk about that more in a minute. All right. So anyway, moving on. So let's start with the first comment that I pulled up. Some of these are nice to me. Some of these aren't. I've kind of got like little different flavors, and just gonna react to them. You know, tell you some of them I've already kind of commented on, but I think having this interactions a little different. So this one came from Cody Mitchell. I love how the P99 screen has so many more people playing it. Heart symbol. I actually just downloaded P99 over the weekend and started an enchanter. I never really played much of the older content. By the time I came onto the scene, Planes of Power had already take that off because I was hearing myself. By the time I came on the scene, Planes of Power was already getting big, which I loved, but it always intrigued me to see how it would be originally before Planes of Power, where you be a lot more community-oriented to actually get things done, requesting a teleport and such. It seems like it took more teamwork, which really brings the people together. Ever since I started playing P99, I've seen exactly that. Though through the 10 or so corpse runs I've already had to make, only level 9, lol, I've received countless people offering to drag my corpse, teleport me, assist in any way possible. I've yet to be ignored by any person that I reach out to. I've also made an enchanter on Front of Eye. Very cool server, really fast leveling. I am not too sure how I feel about mercenaries. They really and truly invented mercenaries because there isn't as many people on Everquest Live from getting to end anymore. I like mercenaries, they are a huge help, but I'm looking for the classic feel where I need a group at level 5 and where it is actually pretty easy to get one because of all the active low-level players that are on time-locked progression servers and P99. Here's the kicker, P99 is free. I have played on Finny and have multiple characters, one level 55 Necro, I love him to death, but it also costs money, $15 a month. They unlock the expansions faster than I have time to keep up with. I really enjoy P99 because it locks itself for much longer periods of time, giving people the chance to come back to a place of pure nostalgia where if you don't play 2 or 3 months, it'll be there waiting for you at the same state that you left it. For the most part, dream. But right though, P99 definitely is not the game for you because you have experienced this countless times already. It makes sense that you would enjoy modern Everquest much more. I'm a subscriber and will continue to follow you as I'm a diehard Everquest fan. I like your videos and I like what you said in this video. Play the game you enjoy playing. Thanks, our navigator. Keep up the content. Sincerely, Sleepy Eyes, P99, level 9 enchanter. Cool. Yeah. So what I liked about this comment is like, obviously, so P99's for him. He's kind of found that, yeah, he likes Everquest, like current Everquest still. He doesn't hate it, but that's really where his niche is, it seems like, at the moment. And that's cool. We don't see eye to eye exactly on what version of Everquest we want to play, but he can be civil and understands where I was coming from with the video, and that's great. That's exactly the kind of conversation I want to have with people. We can be civil and still disagree with each other. I do it with my guild leader Aghanim. We do not see eye to eye politically, which you generally shouldn't talk about politics in games and so forth. But sometimes there's late nights where it's just the two of us on Ventrilo and we start jabbering. We, go back and forth. But at the end of the night, we end up just being like, all right, man, cool. Like, I see where you're coming from. I don't agree with it, but hey, that I understand it. And that's kind of the kind of conversations I like having. I really don't like just having a hard line and being like, this is the line and do not cross it. I don't want to hear from you, blah, blah. Because I do want to hear from you. If you disagree with me, that's cool. But, give some points. Like this gentleman here, he makes some excellent points of why he likes P99 right now, and I understand him now, I understand why he would choose that. And it makes sense. So awesome, man. Cody, I hope you have a fun time playing your enchanter, Sleepy Eyes. I hope the best for you, man. Thanks for subscribing and keep making content. I can't guarantee it'll always be EverQuest. I do play different games. Right now I'm playing a lot of Overwatch when I do have free time, just because I can get in and out on it. But I do have some EverQuest videos still lined up in planning, and I hope you enjoy them. Thanks. Let's see here. So the next is from Timothy Belcom. Timothy, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name. I do apologize. So he said, I think you might be missing the point that some people want a game that is simpler at the core, but still requires time-intensive gameplay. To me, the allure of P99 is that everything takes a long time, so there is more satisfaction for every level you get. Don't get me wrong, I still want to get into playing retail EQ and possibly possibly Finny as well. As a new player to the game, starting on P99, having to run in and drag people's corpses out of Inithul Swamp as a troll warrior leveling up so they don't lose their gear was pretty rewarding, and the long time required to level up made every level feel like a real accomplishment. I'm only at level 8 right now, but I still think it took me many hours to get to that point, soloing most of it. But there are many nice players on P99. The toxicity, I think, mostly comes from the endgame crowd, although I have run into at least one horrible person in my experience so far. It has been a couple of months since I have been able to play, but I think that P99 has merit for people who want to play a simpler and still quite difficult game. Absolutely, man. I agree with you. That's why I felt I did the comparison, is because they are different games and people have different, choices and tastes. And so I was just trying to give an evaluation of them. And I honestly, the part where I was reviewing them, I tried to make them unbiased. I really did. I did have my opinion at the end. And I don't honestly get where some people thought that I was biased through the entire video. There were some comments that said that, because all of what I said was facts. It wasn't subjective things. In fact, the only thing that was even like an adjective or anything is when I was talking about the combat systems in terms of level 60s versus level 105s, and saying the 105s are more complicated to play. And I that's not an opinion. If you one button versus 13, it's 13 is more complicated. Whether that's fun or not, that's subjective. And I didn't say whether one was better or the other. Just one has more buttons to press, and therefore you have to press more. Like, it's more complicated. But again, that's subjective. It's up to you what if it's fun or not. You know what I mean? And some people, clearly that's not fun to manage that many buttons, and that's cool too. So I'm glad you're liking P99, man. Keep it up. The whole high level versus low level thing seems to be a theme. It looks like it's the raid scene that I'm getting more information about that kind of has the more troubling community but the people that just like to level up and take their time and so forth are pretty good. Although I have heard through some other comments, I can't get through all of them obviously in this video, but that there's also a perma-camping kind of situation going on that's a little hard to break into. People like, the FBSS or any kind of like really treasured item seems to always have people at them camping it. So that could probably be a little frustrating, I would imagine. But I hope people can enjoy their time there though, and get around any kind of obstacle like that. There was a comment right after Timothy's that replied to him that said, "Sounds about right. I play P99 with a busy life. It's nice to have a game frozen in time. That does take a long time to get to your goal, but each goal is so satisfying once achieved." That's a really good outlook. When I got back to EQ Live, my Necro's last playtime was at the end of Planes of Power. In just a few short months, I had XP'd to 5k AAs and max level with all group gear and rank 2 spells. Reign of Fear was the current expansion, so must have been level 100 then at that point. And I became very bored. When the next expansion came out, it felt like another coat of paint. The expansion seemed very mechanical. The same slots have the same effects, only better, etc. EQ Live, as it is now, is not for me. And the same would go for those who don't like P99. To each their own. This is my 2 copper pieces. Risk versus reward all the way. And yeah, thanks. So both of these gentlemen are Loss N209. I don't know if you're a gentleman or not, or lady, whatever. And I'm sorry for assuming. Obviously, both of these people prefer P99, and that's awesome. We don't have to be toxic to each other to explain why we like them. Both make excellent points, and so I thank you guys for your comments. If you watch this or not, great stuff. Moving on. So next one is just precious to me. So this was from Memo G12. Man, this video was terrible. Try again, man. So this comment, I want to know more, right? So I want to know why my video is terrible and so forth. It's not because I'm trying to hit back. I honestly try to learn from comments. I used to, if anyone watches my really old videos, I had a really long intro. I put a lot of time into it. It was my first time editing videos and so forth. I was really proud of it, but not everyone, but a lot of people hated it. So I changed it. Now it's a short little blue screen. Like, I do still want to have an intro, yeah, but I'll keep it short. Keep it sweet, So anyway, I do like feedback when there's something in the video wrong. You know what I mean? Sometimes I already know about it, like the video or like the sound problems I had with the P99 video. I mean, I only have so much time, and I try to put one video out a week. Like that you'll find is my kind of thing. I try to do at least one a week, even if it's a kind of one like these where I only have to do minimal editing, mainly just removing when I mess up words and so forth and repeat myself. I'll edit that stuff out just so you aren't hearing me. And I also I say a lot when I don't have a script, like that, but you won't hear any sound, and that's me removing the ums because I'm picky. So I replied, "Lol, got anything specific there, bud? Did you find the review biased? Did it miss anything you believe is relevant? What was terrible?" And so he said, "Stink with bias, just overflowing, fake newsworthy. I'm not even a hardcore P99 player. I just play casually with my wife. You misrepresented P99 and you do not understand it. By the way, community there is amazing. Every day I meet people who are some of the nicest, kindest, welcoming people I've ever met in gaming community. Seriously, try again. You put the absolute minimum effort into examining P99. You also got some information wrong, like the class XP penalty, which was removed with Velius, but that is not even my gripe." Well, so let's examine this. He's given me some feedback here. So he believed the video was biased, as I think I explained earlier. I don't understand that point of view. The end of my video for sure was, and I think I declared that it was going to be, but the actual review portion, I heavily tried to be subjective. So he is saying that the community there is amazing. So maybe he's referring just to the beginning of the video where I was talking about the comments that I received, and maybe the end of the video, but maybe he's not talking about the middle. If you are, unfortunately, community is subjective, as you'll find from some of these comments that I found. Some people find the community at P99 really awesome, helpful, nice, welcoming, and I 100% believe that there is those people, but some found there to be some toxicity with it. Maybe it's because they spent a lot of time in the higher levels, as we mentioned earlier, and that kind of the difference that we're seeing. But that's still their experience. So how do I relay that? Do I say low levels are amazing, but high levels you're gonna mean jerks? It's subjective. The same thing with my live servers. I love my guild to death. Nice, great people. That being said, there are terrible people on my server as well. I mentioned one in the P99 video. So, I understand both sides. So how do I say, oh, my guild is awesome? That's my experience, but there are also bad people too. The community is just a large group of people, and it's going to be a mixed bag in any community. So that's subjective and not objective, and the point of the review was to be objective. So the only thing that I can talk about objectively is the facts of the mechanics and so forth, and what they do, how it works, and so forth. So that's what I did. All right, so I put in absolute minimal amount of effort in examining P99. Well, truly what I did was I assumed that P99 was of classic era, as it kind of promotes itself to be. I did read extensively on their wiki of what currently is in the game and so forth. And that's also because it says that I got some information wrong, like the class XP penalty. Well, let's look at that, because we click on classes right here, and then we click, okay, it says here, and then we have the XP rates for everything. And clearly, if I look at Berserkers, which is if I look at Barbarians, which is a race, different classes seem to have different XP modifiers. One is under 100%, some are over. So clearly there's still some sort of XP boosting or penalties. So either or, different classes will have different XP rates. So what did I get wrong? Or at least, unless the wiki's wrong, then I'm sorry. I can only go with what information the server provides to me. It's not like being in the server tells me that, right? Like playing even in the game. That's background information. So I examined their wiki to the fullest extent that I could, and I'm sorry if anything was wrong on it. I definitely tried. Anyway, moving on. All right, this one's more self-gratifying. So Matt Gade said, good job with doing an in-depth and realistic analysis of the difference between current EverQuest experiences. And I couldn't agree with you more in regards to the EverQuest Live being a far better experience than P99. Yes, I played both Classic EverQuest when it was, well, Classic still. P99 was fun when I first started, but down the line it lost its fun for me. Some of the people I've met were really nice. However, the large majority of late game players are complete jerks, and the raid scene is cancer. EOK is a great expansion. For those that aren't aware, EOK is Empires of Kunark. It's the current expansion for EverQuest. On like the normal servers and so forth. Sorry. EOK is a great expansion, and I'm having a lot of fun. Since I missed some expansions on Live Tunes, there's tons of content for me to check out, and I rarely find myself doing the same thing over and over again. If you're reading this and you enjoy playing P99, then great. More power to you. But don't come over and bother people who are playing live just because you have some false sense of superiority because of how classic you are. Nobody cares. Keep up the great work on your videos. I can tell you put in a lot of hard work into them, and there's some great editing work that you do. Fudge the naysayers and trolls if they want to pretend that they are anything but worthless trolls. Then by all means let them. Stupid manages to be stupid without any assistance. Peace. So thanks, Matt. I appreciate the feedback. I do put in a lot of hard work. Thanks for thinking my editing work is great. I don't, but I feel like I have a lot yet to learn. Still, thank you for the words of encouragement. I appreciate it. And yeah, you seem to have the same view I do. I'm not trying to surround myself with people that do, but it is kind of nice to know that I'm not just alone in the universe and everybody else plays P99 and hates me. So thank you. I really appreciate that. So moving on to not so self-gratifying of a comment. All right. So this is from Ruai Paquetti. I'm going to go with that, even though it's likely 100% mispronounced. So I'm going to break this down per line because he did a really good job of breaking down the structure here. So, lol, this video is terrible. I would say why. So, but he explains, introduces videos twice, then tries to sell you a t-shirt. So what my format that I've started trying to do is I do an opener where I talk about what the video is going to be. Then I do my intro, and then I say, hey, I'm Telkiney, or Navigator, and then I go on. But I do understand that found that it was redundant because I was trying to stress that I was trying to do an unbiased review at the beginning and then a biased review at the end. Like I was trying to really stress that. And so maybe I overstressed that. I apologize. And then tries to sell you a t-shirt. Yes, I did. I'm trying to sell t-shirts because I've not found a lot of great EverQuest t-shirts. I own one. You can see in past videos that I do have a EverQuest t-shirt, but I went on this site that I really like called Spreadshirt.com, and you can find designs from a lot of people and so forth for a lot of different games. But EverQuest, there's like nothing there. I mean, you look at it, you search EverQuest, there's mine and then two trash. I'm sorry if you're a designer of one of those two. But hey, man, boom. I got mine finally in the mail. I like it. I like it. One problem I did have is that these shirts are in apparel, and American Apparel seems to have a little bit different sizes than what I'm used to. I got a large. I'm a larger guy, but it's a little smaller on me than I prefer. So what can you do, right? But anyway, sorry, I wasn't looking at. Yeah, but you know what I mean. I'll just do a little bit of this. Ta-da! Yeah. So I finally got my t-shirt. I'll just bring this over here. And yeah, I like it. Got the Worm Slayer right here. It's without equal. I thought this was a clever pun, if you will, without, violating copyright by even putting Everquest there or anything like that. So yeah, I'm sorry. I think the shirt's great, so I'm sorry if anyone else doesn't, but I saw a lack of them. And also, let's be real. Okay. So this channel that I have, it costs me more money than I'll ever probably make. Each one of these little microphones, and that's not even just everything I've spent, costs more than I've ever made on AdSense. And if you look at the current AdSense revenue, if you understand what YouTube is doing right now because of the ad people that are pulling out, or the advertisers that are pulling out, I make a fifth of what probably somebody used to make with the amount of views that I've had. Anyway, that being said, yeah, I was looking to recoup a little bit of money. So if you do like the shirts, hey, please buy one, okay? But if you don't, that's okay. But I liked it. This I don't get these for free, you know what I mean? I had to buy it on the site, the same thing. I just get to upload the design, and I get like commission. So anyway, sorry you didn't like that. I'm trying to sell a t-shirt. Anyway, and and the microphones aren't even the only thing. I have a subscription for Adobe, like all their, like a Premiere Pro and Photoshop and all that. And that costs more money than monthly than I see come into this channel. So yeah, I just lose money making this because I have fun doing it. But hey, it'd be nice if maybe it didn't cost me money, you know what I mean, to make these videos for you guys. I like doing them, don't get me wrong. And I'm going to continue to make them. Obviously, even though only one person so far has bought a shirt. And thank you, whomever you are out there. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you like the shirt, because I do. Anyway, so that being said, I will announce the winner at the end of the video again, and then we'll get in contact. So anyway, let's go down some more. So completely covers entirely subjective topics. Really? Completely subjective topics? I would think that just mechanics of games are objective. Now, whether you like them or not, that is subjective. But again, during the review, I'm pretty sure I said multiple times that they could be either a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what you like. I did not try to express an opinion during that time frame, right? Anyway, and says he doesn't understand. Yeah, I don't understand this comment here, bud. Completely bypasses all keying needed in POP. I guess POP was the last expansion you needed because, yeah, you needed keys. It was actually one of the most in-depth keying process in the entire game. But you still need keys keyed for like Vishan's Peak and stuff, or at least the revamped version of it. I don't know if you did for the original. Honestly, didn't get up to Vishan Peak level when I was playing. I think I got to level 60, and when I hit 60, because I was slow, Velius was just coming out, and there was Velius, and I was still progressing in that when Luckling came out. Anyway, I'm digressing. Anyway, yeah, I actually liked the King in Plains of Power. It was a lot of raids, a ton of content to get through, but I don't think that has anything to do with current EverQuest or P99. So a little fuzzy what that's supposed to be about. Maybe he's talking about Finnegan, because I think they are in the Plains of Power currently. So, or at least it was just a little bit after, but definitely people are probably still keying. So Yeah, you're right. I guess I could have mentioned that in Finny they are doing keying for Planes of Power. As I was mentioning, that's the level of content. Now, I did say that's the level of content, and it could be up to you if you want to research more about that content. That being because it was already a 30-minute video. How much more detail do you need me to get into? But anyway, moving on. Basically, skip the entire middle and end of the game. Did I? I mean, I didn't discuss the individual content during the objective review. I didn't talk about Sleeper's Tomb or TOV or the current rating in EOK or anything like that. That's true. I didn't. I was just talking about the game mechanics and how they work from now versus then, because there is a difference there. Content will always be. You can go back and play the old content too on live. It won't be as satisfying for sure. Anyway, blows by social aspects of live is awful compared to P9. So yeah, I don't think that's true at all. So that's obviously subjective. You're right, but that's why I didn't talk about it. I was only doing a objective review. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, if you like the P99 community, that's great. I like the live community, so we both like our communities. But there are also people that say, like this gentleman is saying, that live is awful, but I don't see that. But there's also comments that say P99 community is awful, you know? So the EC tunnel and its significance, cool, that's great. You know what? We have general chat in front of I. You know why? Because the Bazaar isn't where most things are sold. Bazaar, unfortunately, has a 2 million, yes, I know, 2 million plat limit, and a lot of the raid gear is worth a way more than 2 million plat on front of ice. So most of the high-end raid gear stuff, that stuff's sold through general chat like you would sell it in EC tunnel in the OOC, because that's the only way you can trade. You have to trade it. You can't use the Bazaar. So significance, I'd say they're the same. The rarity of items now versus back then, that's fair. It's mainly, I think, because of, you know, how the camps work and so forth. Rare mobs now spawn way more frequently, and there's more of them. There's more items that are of the same like level. For instance, like in classic EverQuest is all I'm thinking about right now, right? There was one, you know, haste belt. Like that was the FBSS, right? You could get that from level 1 to level, you know, 50 or whatever. That was the thing to get. Like, so, and everybody needed it. So the only amount of those on the server ever is going to be how many times the frenzy spawned ever, right? To cover all of the melee characters that need one. Yeah, that's going to be a bit rarer than nowadays. There are multiple belts for the same 105 level range, and they drop, and there are, you know, instance versions of things, so multiple people can farm multiple ones. So yeah, rarity now is there's more availability than back then. So you're right. I could have this particular comment. I'm going to say you're correct. That is something I could have touched on, and I missed that. I did. The less force feeding of things, the lack of quest icons and guides. So I'm going to disagree with the force feeding of things, because I hear constantly that classic EverQuest forced you to group with people. I would call that force feeding of things. In fact, I'd say normal current EverQuest today, modern EverQuest, force feeds you less. You have choice, and that's what I'm going to stick to, because you can choose to do things the old way, or you can choose to do things the new way. You can choose to group, you can choose to have a mercenary, you can choose a solo without a mercenary. So yeah, force feeding of things, I don't think that's accurate. And lack of quest icons and guides. So there were always guides. The Alakazam has been around for a long time. Caster's Realm was also a great resource. Our RIP Caster's Realm. Monthly business, but lack of quest icon. There is no quest icons in even modern EverQuest. It's not WoW, man. You know, so I don't know what you're talking about. There are NPCs nowadays designated as like adventure NPCs, and you go to them, you hail them, and they have, you know, the adventure ones that you can repeat every day. So there are those. That's been in since about LODN, I think, or so, when they introduced the Lost Dungeon of North. So, but yeah, quest icons, nothing. There is guides in that you can make paths to particular NPCs, and they're online. But I don't know anything about guides in game, except for Quest Journal that just tells you what the last thing you did was, so you don't have to like write on a piece of paper. That's helpful. Sorry, I don't see the downside of that. Here's a tip for you: play another character. You know there are 10 plus characters, right? Here's a news for you. I have 105 of every class in the game of Everquest on the Frontify server on different accounts. At one time in my Everquest career, I did multi-box, tried it out, ISO Boxer. It was interesting, like trying to figure out how to do it. Okay, if I hit one and I bind all these keys to one, like I can make these guys do that. I can assist my main person, and then I just have to hit F, blah, blah, and move them. Anyway, it was challenging but fun, and I had fun while doing it, but then I just got bored and went back to just playing one character. That being said, I have one of every class at 105 on different accounts. My one account there that you usually see the character collection, that's my main account. That's where I've invested a lot of money from the cash shop, from the Sony Station cash shop and so forth into, that's just where I play, even though I have alts and so forth. Anyway, so you're telling me you know everything about every class? Nope, I don't. I know enough to be dangerous. I guess, is that the saying? I know enough about each class to know what they're capable of, but if you ask me the name of whatever that AA is that can do this or that, I don't know the name of it. Mainly though, I do know the ins and outs of the monk and bard. I use the bard a lot with my monk sometimes, just doing. Anyway, ding ding, there's the challenge. I did. He said, Christ, man, you need a lot of work. I don't think I do, but thank you. You know, just done my job in this hobby. So anyway, in summary, says, I want to hear your opinion. Does poops on people entirely with smug accusations he is complaining about being thrown at him? Well, I would say that, so other people have disagreed with me about being overly dramatically critical, and I can respond in kind to criticism in good or bad senses. So, you know, I am of a sarcastic nature. You can ask my guild leader that. I can go ahead and post that in the comments. It's not going to be a big secret. So, yeah, I can be smug. Got me. But I also think that I can have a civil conversation with people as well. So there you go. Hopefully you have a day job. I do. I work for a very large software company, because between the Tetris music and your input, it was not great. Well, I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it. I honestly hope that you don't subscribe, because this isn't really the kind of input I was looking for. Maybe you could tell. So it sounds like you don't like the music I chose. Music I do choose is non-copyrighted music, by the way. So I try to not have copyrighted stuff that might flag my channel and whatnot. So it's all music by an artist called Tobu, who makes, that, you can call it Tetris music, whatever, electronica. And I kind of like it. You know, it's a little catchy. I personally listen to punk music myself, like in my spare time, and classic oldies like the Beatles and whatnot. But hey, it's decent music, and it's free and not copyrighted. So what can you do? Shout out to Tobu. I like your stuff. And so, but apparently he doesn't like it. So that's, hey, for the subscribers that care, is the music terrible? So I used to not do videos with music in them. In fact, a lot of my videos don't have music in them if you watch them. But I was told that, hey, you should have music in your video in the background, you know, just so it's a little bit more entertaining and so forth. And that was told me by a personal friend in real life. But what do you guys think? Do you like the music? Do you not? please let me know, because I'll stop if, more people dislike it than like it. So, by the way, I clicked on this video after viewing quality content from Level 1 Undercon. Please watch his channel and like and subscribe. You could learn a lot from him, a lot. So, Level 1 Undercon is a P99 YouTuber. He has tons of content on his channel. If you like P99 Let's Plays mainly, his channel's for you. I don't do a lot of Let's Plays. My bulk of my content is informational videos. I have watched Mr. Level 1 Undercon. In fact, he has a video called like Experience Everquest or something like that. And I watched that to see kind of some insight in what people think about P99 or what a reviewer says about it. And, it's obviously subjective, much like the end of my video, in that, he really likes P99. I think people would say that about my Everquest review too, the State of Everquest 2017 video, which has a ton of views. I was not subjective in that. I was not objective in that. I was very subjective. I think Everquest is a great game and wanting to let people know about it. And it's similar to his video. So I don't know how much I can learn from him. He does Let's Plays. Like, okay. I'm not saying that it's terrible or wrong. It's a very popular thing to do. I didn't see a lot of views when I tried to do it with Advent Rising. Maybe that's because it's a very pop culturally thing to do, but it's certainly easier to pump out that content than the 40 hours of editing I do for videos like this, the P99 one or the State of Everquest. So if that's popular, if people just want Let's Plays, I can do that. Maybe I could do a few a week, but it's the ones that have me editing for long periods of time that I think help me grow more. So I've been trying to do that. Plus I'm an analyst, literally my job. It's something that, at least at my job, I'm good at. So I tend to do it in what I do. So, and that's why you'll see informational videos mainly from me. Anyway, that's a little bit more about me. So moving on. This one comes from Ravenshade 32. Wife and I both play max tunes on both. We started back on P99 but found the devs bias and one-sided to mates of theirs, which let certain people do whatever they wanted. We joined Finnegal at launch and have been there ever since. Since it's easier, and to be honest, the community overall suck in both, but it moves at an okay pace, and we just enjoy grouping with mates or trioing. We both played Everquest back in 99 through 06, and yes, the community back then was amazing, and will never be like that again. Problem is that 9% of the people you speak to on P99 and TLP servers say they played in the old days. The sad truth is 90% of those people are talking poop. The real old gamers like myself and few others have stuck around because we love the game. So this is kind of one of those ones that it seems that they had kind of a bad experience on P99, to which is one of the things where I say some people don't like the community there and so forth. But it sounds like they're saying it's kind of like wishy-washy. It's both communities in Finnegal and P99, can have not great people. And, like I said, that's true for any large group of people, I think. So anyway, also you mentioned that they say some people say that they played in the old days, but they're lying essentially. I don't know about other people. I can do a slash played for my character if that's preferable. My original character was a troll warrior named Telkiney back on the Mythmar server, but my current monk is named Telkiney on this server. I'd moved servers after going on hiatus at one point, and then came back in 2001 to play Telkiney. So yeah, if anyone, I doubt anyone from Blood Oath ever will watch this video or whatnot, but if anyone does, let me know if you were in Blood Oath on Mythmar. There was only 5 of us, so chances are not likely. Anyway, I hope you guys continue to enjoy the game, the Finnegal that you're playing on, and wish you the best of luck, Ravenshade 32. Next one's from Tyler Zilke. Is that right, Tyler Zilke? Kind of like Milky Zilke. I don't know. The comments in the beginning are a true window into the mindset of the P99 player base. Don't get me wrong, many of the people there are great, but there are also a vocal minority that are so obnoxious about P99 versus other MMOs. Not to mention the raid scene is a mess of people from 1 or 2 guilds doing D-bag things to each other, while the rest of the server never gets to reach the point they're at because of all the fighting. It's a fun time on P99 if you can stomach that stuff, but man, it is annoying. It doesn't help that the devs give all these idiots a vocal platform, an unmoderated forum to post anything and insult each other, which only adds fuel to the fire. So that was some decent insight. Sounds like, you know, another person that doesn't exactly share the opinion that everyone is kind and nice and wonderful on P99. But there are, again, some people that do find everybody nice. So, you know, this is why I can't say 100% without, you know, whatever, that without being subjective, that P99's community is awesome and live sucks, because I don't believe that, but also it's just subjective. Anyway, this one's from Ninja Nazumi. Did you edit out pauses and breaths between words? Yes, I did. The audio, as I mentioned before with the stupid mic here, was terrible. I hope this is better. I did some testing and it was good, but we'll see, right? But anyway, so yeah, I did. I took out breaths and pauses because it had background noise. Sounds, you said it's kind of hard to listen. It's kind of hard to listen to and it's kind of hard to listen and process what you're saying because your words are on the heels of other words, and the way your voice is going up and down sounds like you edited sentence breathing breaks out to shorten the video. Edit, don't want you to think I'm trashing your video. It's interesting. Just having a bit of difficulty. So no, you're correct. I did that. To shorten the video because it was like 33 minutes long or something. But B, it's because the breaths were the same volume as my voice because whatever problems is going on with so it was like, and so I guess what I could have done in hindsight is mute the sound instead of just taking it completely out, doing the ripple effect and just moving the stuff closer. I could have done that as something to consider. So I thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it, taking the time to do so. I'll try to do my next video with that. And I don't know if you're subscribed or anything, but if you, well, it won't be my next video. Sorry, I have a plan for a next video. It's not going to be informational like the last one, so it's going to be hard to compare. But maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. Anyway, and so the winner of the T-shirt giveaway is the user Cat's Meow, who's a subscriber and left a comment. Cat's Meow said, "I started playing Classic Everquest back in 1999, played P99, and do a Let's Play video series on AX Classic version of emulated EQ. The classic game was a really hardcore game. Corpse runs, no maps, constant deaths, and Black Borough trains made it a game of dying. Still is quite a challenging game and made you think. I started playing modern version of EverQuest this year and finding it a lot easier to find gear, no corpse runs, POK, merchants, the Terminator like SKs, etc. make the game a cakewalk. No more pulling singles, just an entire room or half a zone. So my pick is modern EverQuest game because I want to have fun." I picked it honestly at random, but yeah, I think there is some ease to the combat while being complicated in what you have to do. For instance, he's talking about SKs kiting half the zones, kind of like swarm kiting that I hear still happens on P99, you know, but it gets really technical because you have to watch your health and so forth because they swarm kite by tanking mobs and life tapping them at the same time. So it's interesting. I've never been able to accomplish it myself. So good on them. Anyway, cats meow. You should get a message from me if you're watching this, but you'll get the message anyway. Hopefully you'll check your YouTube comment stuff. It should be a notification probably, and I'll have my contact info for you. If you can just reply to that, send an email or whatnot, or if you're able to reply to my message, either way is fine, with your size and shipping address, and I'll get a free t-shirt to you. Also, if you do want, go to the website, spreadshirt.com, check out their sizes, and if there's a particular style of shirt you would prefer, it doesn't have to be the cheap one. Any of them's fine, man. Besides hoodie or something like that, just any t-shirt. Okay. Thank you. And you continue to subscribe and like the content. So, and just to give you a brief insight into the next video that you can expect from me, it's not going to be an informational video. I'm going to try a new thing. And I have a script that I'm making right now. That's also why I didn't put one up this week, like a highly edited one, because I'm still working on it. But I hope that it's good. And so, anyway, it's going to be about Fippy making his way through Keynos, right? But as a news broadcast, I'm going to try to really enact it machinima style within the game. So we'll see how that turns out. I don't know, but in my head, it sounds really cool. I have different things going on, trying to make it seem funny and so forth, but Fippy makes it, kind of. But anyway, you'll have to see and tune in. All right. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks again for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much. This is Telkiney, or Navigator. Thank you. Signing off. XR for life.